What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Pharah's getting changed, new developer update on the way, Roadhog's getting buffed, and more. Over the last couple days, we got a bunch of information from the Overwatch devs on the official Blizzard forums. The first question is about being able to transfer character skins and cosmetics from PC to console and vice versa. And Jeff Kaplan responded, he says, yeah, we're not crazy about that, we're brainstorming solutions, it's complicated. So right now, you can kind of transfer stuff, but only for special events. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, the Nano Cola event, you would get sprays if you watch certain live streams. But in order to get it on your console account, what you had to do is you would connect your console account to your Battle.net, and then Battle.net to Twitch. So once Twitch verified that you had watched the stream, it would notify your Battle.net account, and then your Battle.net account would tell your console account, okay, activate these sprays. So there's kind of like a one-way street going right now. But the problem is that there's really not a good way for them to currently transfer from one thing to the other and have it be permanent. Because you can make multiple accounts on your consoles, imagine you have a Battle.net account, you buy a bunch of loot boxes, you unlock all the skins and stuff, and then you connect that Battle.net account to your console account, you make it so that they sync up, and then you have all of the character skins on both your PC and your console. But then you sever the connection, and now you connect your Battle.net to your friend's console account. And then you connect it and link it up, and oh, now both of them have all the character skins and stuff. So you either have to make it so that the connection is permanent, or you have to make it so that it actually transfers the skin. So if you take all of the character legendaries and stuff from your PC account and you move it to the console, then they disappear from the PC. So clearly there's lots of problems with this. It's a much bigger issue than people might think. Moving on, it looks like we're probably going to get a pretty big PTR patch sometime next week. Jeff Kaplan talked about two things quite briefly. First part was he simply mentioned that they recorded a new developer update and that it should go up next week. Usually when they do developer updates, it's for something really significant. They don't put out a developer update just for a minor thing that they add to the PTR. So my guess is this developer update probably going to be about the Torbjorn rework. So that would be what I think we're probably going to get next week, because they've been working on it for quite a while. The other thing he mentioned was about Pharah, and someone was asking about any potential changes, and he said, we've been trying some changes to Pharah internally. Some of those changes might make their way to the PTR next week. More details to come later. This is almost certainly going to be on the PTR. They do this every single time. Well, they might be on the PTR next... Yeah, they're going on the PTR. Yeah, like, they always do this. They try to keep expectations low, but they always do this. So what exactly are these changes going to be? Well, I find it extremely unlikely that they're going to be nerfs in any way, because Pharah is not in a good spot. She hasn't been really used in the meta for I don't even know how long. And anytime you use the character, you almost have to have a Mercy pocketing the Pharah in order to really be effective. Also, Pharah just got two pretty significant indirect nerfs just recently. The first was a change to the damage falloff of hit scan characters. So rather than being only 30% of base damage at far distance, now they do 50% of base damage at far distance. So it's much easier for a soldier or McCree to take a Pharah out of the sky. The second indirect nerf was with Mercy, because now she's way worse than she was before. The overall healing, she just has a lower pick rate. So if you're not going to be running Mercy, then you're not going to be running Pharah. So she had two pretty significant indirect nerfs recently that made Pharah a lot less viable. Now, what exactly are they going to change? I don't think Pharah needs a damage buff. I think her ultimate is still really good. I mean, there might be some issues with it, but for the most part, it's a very strong ultimate. I think the only problem with Pharah right now is her limited mobility in the air. She just kind of hovers there, right? Like, she doesn't have the movement that she needs in order to really be effective. So if I was going to change anything, I would just increase her mobility while she's in the air, and that's it. I wouldn't give a damage buff or none of that other stuff, just increased mobility in the air, and that's it. Moving on, Roadhog got buffed, but keep in mind he just got a nerf as well. So they said that this is kind of a way to compensate for the nerf they just gave him. Here are the details. Primary fire fall-off range was changed from 10 to 20 meters to 15 to 30 meters. Alternate fire now has damage fall-off, which is the same as the new primary fall-off, 15 to 30 meters. Developer comments, previously Roadhog Scrap Gun alternate fire didn't have damage fall-off, which sometimes made it too powerful against far-away targets. To balance out a slight power decrease, especially against barriers, we decided to push his overall weapon's effective range out a bit further before damage fall-off begins to take effect. Note, the alternate fire fall-off begins where the scrap projectiles are formed, not from Roadhog's firing position. What? Hold on a second here. Blizzard, are we playing the same game? We're talking about Roadhog, right? Sometimes he was too powerful against far-away targets? What are you talking about? Now, I understand people are going to complain about the hook or about his survivability or something. I have never, ever seen anyone complain about Roadhog being too strong against far-away targets. That is just not a thing. I have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. Alright, so back on track. This is a slight buff for his primary fire, the left click. It means that you're going to be doing more damage overall because his damage drop-off starts further out and there's a much larger area where it actually drops off. So rather than doing the minimum amount of damage at that 20 meters, now it's going to do that minimum at 30 meters. So there's quite a bit of distance now where you can use your left click and still deal a lot of damage. But keep in mind, you still have to deal with the spread of the weapon. So if someone's far away and you try to left click, most of those little pellets are not going to hit. So even though they're doing more damage, you're still going to be missing with a big chunk of it. And the alternate fire right click is the same thing. It's 15 to 30 meters, but the fall off doesn't start where Roadhog is. It starts where the little burst happens. So overall, your right click is going to be doing less damage because they just changed it and they added lots of extra fall off to it. Short version is this. For damage output, at close range, there's no change. At medium range, it's going to be a slight increase, and at long range, there's going to be a decrease. Despite Roadhog being in the tank category, he doesn't actually have any protective abilities for his teammates. The only thing he has is high survivability and damage, except his damage isn't even that good anymore. I don't think these changes are really going to affect anything. He's still kind of whatever. The best thing that Roadhog can do is feed ultimate charge for the enemies, which, you know, isn't really a good thing. So I don't know what they're doing, and I think that they need to make some better changes to Roadhog. Otherwise, he's just gonna be problematic. So what do you guys think about the Roadhog changes? What do you expect them to change on Pharah? And what do you think Jeff is going to talk about in the dev update? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller because it's never your fault.